Hey guys, welcome to day 6 of training. This video is actually going to be super short because there is another amazing video on objections that I want you guys to watch when you have more time. So we are going to be talking about objections today, or those times when you invite people and they say no, which can be a little bit of a scary feeling at first. So we're going to just talk about it really quick, and then I want you to go check out the other video when you have time that's going to go more in depth and give actual examples of real conversations. So inviting is for some people already kind of a scary thing, and we recognize that, and it's something that you just kind of got to lean into, and you're only going to get better by just practicing. So it's just something that you have to kind of face your fear and invite 2 to 3 people every day and just kind of build and build and build on that. But not all of those people are going to say yes, and actually the majority of people are going to say no. And there's actually kind of a crazy statistic that says 80% of the people who become your clients will say no a few times before they actually say yes. And I found that to be really, really true with a lot of the clients that I've helped. I've had people that I've been talking to for years, and they have told me no so many times, and then finally something clicks and they're in a place in their life where they can focus on their health and fitness, and then they come back and they want to be working with you. So definitely don't take it personally if someone says no. Don't get discouraged. You're not tied to whether the person says yes or no, so you have to just keep inviting more people and don't just drop them for dead. Like a lot of other network marketing companies, I feel like if someone says no to buying their products, that'll be the end of the line. That's not how we are. We are not salespeople. We don't lead with that kind of stuff, and we're not in it to get their money or make a sale. We really want to help them. And so if someone's saying no because they don't have money, let's get them into a free group, or let's find something that we can give them that is of value for free and help them where they're at. Or if they're just not ready to do Shakeology, maybe we'll just start them on a 30-day trial of Beachbody On Demand. So there's lots of things that we can do, and we'll still maintain our relationships with people if they say that now is not a good time. And like I said, we're not tied to whether they say yes or no. So if somebody says it's not a good time, that's totally okay. We don't need to take that personally. So that's what I want to say first and foremost, that when you get someone who's saying no, you should be really grateful that you were brave enough to do that invite in the first place and not take it personally. That being said, health and fitness is a really vulnerable topic. A lot of people are not comfortable in their own skin, and that's a little bit of a sad fact, but it's really true. I feel like the media is really, really influential on body image, especially for women, and that leads to a lot of women and men feeling uncomfortable in their body. And so when somebody who maybe doesn't know them very well, or even someone who's close to them, is asking them about their health and fitness and what are their goals for themselves, that can be kind of scary and vulnerable. And so a lot of the times an objection is kind of just like a protective shield that people are putting up because it's a vulnerable topic, and maybe they've tried some things in the past that didn't work, and they don't want to start something again if it's not going to work. And it's usually a lot of fear that's coming through. And so you're going to take people saying no as an opportunity to dig a little bit deeper and be grateful, and you are going to become the objection problem solver. If you ever get to a point where you feel like you're trying to convince someone or push them, definitely stop, because that's not where I'm trying to get with that, and I just want to put that up here up front. But you definitely should dig a little bit deeper when someone says no and figure out why they're saying no. One thing that I learned the other day that I really liked is people come to you because they need help. They have tried other things in the past that haven't worked, and they're coming to you because they need a solution. And so if they're telling you no, maybe there's something that you weren't explaining right, or that they're not understanding. If you really genuinely think there's a good solution for them, it's okay to dig a little bit deeper, because you're the expert. You know what products we have that can help them, and so it's okay to dig a little bit deeper and to explain a little bit more and to continue on that conversation. If it's not going to help them, again, no big deal. It's just what off of our back. But I want you guys to think about, if somebody says, I don't have the money, maybe we can break down the price and say, well, is there anything in your life that you think that maybe you could swap out for the price of Shakeology? Shakeology breaks down to about $4 a day. It's a really healthy meal For me personally, I was able to stop drinking the Starbucks that I had every single day and the fast food that I was getting to and from work, and I actually ended up saving money that way. So is there anything in your budget you can think of that you buy on a pretty frequent basis, whether that be like chips or coffee or a gym membership that you don't use that you could switch out for that cost? I like to budget it in my grocery budget and kind of go from there. So that's the way that you're trying to solve the problem that they have of not having that money but wanting to do the program because they've already showed interest. Another common objection is I don't have the time. And instead of just saying like, oh, okay, well, sorry, you can say, well, we have some workouts that are only 22 minutes long. How much time do you think these programs are going to take you? Because maybe they think the programs are going to take 1 or 2 hours. And then you can just say, well, actually, they only take 22 minutes to about 30 minutes unless you're doing one of the longer programs. And I find that most people can squeeze that in the cracks of their day, even if they're working really long shifts. It's kind of good to, if someone gives you an objection, to kind of return that objection with a question. So if someone says, I don't have the time, you can say, well, how much time do you think it would take? Or if someone says, I don't have the money, well, how much money do you think it would cost? So you can definitely answer with a question like that. Let me think of another common objection that we get. I don't have the time. I don't have the money. I'm drawing a blank on objections. Well, we're going to discuss as a group the objections that you guys are getting, but I think money is probably, for our market, the #1 thing. The second most common one I get is time. Some people give kind of an early objection when I'm asking them the back and forth questions that we talked about in the last couple of videos, and that's in that script inviting document that we posted. Early on, they'll say, I'm not really motivated. That's something that I've struggled with in the past. And so I tell them up front, well, luckily, our challenge group is really awesome. It's a great community. We all lift each other up. We hold each other accountable. We check in every day. So you get little objections like that all the way through this back and forth conversation, but the big ones are usually time and money. And there's a few other ones too. So the purpose of this video was just to tell you that objections are totally normal. I would say 99% of my customers give me an objection. Therefore, we go through the back and forth process. I say, are you interested? They say yes. I say, here's why I think it'd be great for you. They say, great. I send them the videos, and we either get to the price and they object, or they object at some other point in the time. So 99% of my customers, the majority of my customers, will give an objection, and that's totally, totally normal. And it's an opportunity for you to dig deeper and to learn more about your client and to find if our programs can really help them. And if they don't, then no sweat off our back. We'll ask again later. That's where the follow-up comes up. So if you have someone who is really interested and they said they need to think about it, or they need to wait until Friday when they get paid, you got to be following up. You have to be tracking these people, writing their names down so that you can appropriately follow up. And if you have someone say no, check in with them next month and the month after that. It's okay to invite them every month and say, you know, I know before it wasn't a good time for you, but I keep thinking of how great you would be in this group because of X, Y, and Z. Is now a better time for you? And I've done that before, you guys, for like 6 times. And sometimes they flat out ignore me and don't say anything. And then the 7th time, they'll say, I really need help. I'm the most uncomfortable I've ever been in my skin, and I really, really need your help. So don't give up on them, you guys. And if someone ignores you, it's probably because they're really uncomfortable or feeling insecure or feeling fearful. It's not because they don't like you. If you think about it, if you went to a restaurant that was super amazing, you would have no problem going up to your friends and saying, hey, go check out this restaurant. It was so good. And your friends would be really pumped and excited about it for the most part. You might have that one friend who's like, I don't like that kind of food. But for the most part, your friends would be totally on board. And if you did have that one friend who said, you know, I went there and I really didn't like it, it wouldn't be any sweat off your back. You would just say like, oh, that's a bummer. You wouldn't be like, oh my gosh, I'm a horrible person. I can't believe they didn't like it. I am so in such trouble. Like, that's what we do as coaches. If someone says no, we feel so bad and we take it kind of internally, but it doesn't have to be like that. Inviting is just trying to share with people what a blessing all of this stuff has been in our life and seeing if it might work for them and be a good thing for them too. So I hope that was helpful, you guys. Below this video, I am going to post a link to a YouTube video. It is an extremely helpful step-by-step, taking actual conversations from real customers and breaking down how to battle objections and how to do an invite with that back and forth flowing conversation. Again, all of this training is up to you as a CEO of your own business to complete on your own time. But this is a video that I highly, highly, highly recommend you guys watch. I think it'll explain a lot of the questions that I've been seeing in here, and I would love your guys' feedback. I've showed this video to a lot of my coaches, and it's really when they were able to kind of click together all the pieces, and it was super helpful for them. So I'm going to post it below this video in the comments. Listen to it in your car, listen to it when you have downtime, I don't know, but it's a really good video. I hope you guys have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.